Hey guys, I'm Egan, and actually I'm here in Korea.
So let me welcome you with a warm annyeonghaseyo. I'm happy that you joined me here in South Korea's capital city, Seoul.
Here you can see my goal for today. It's the Seoul Tower. Wrong way. Here. Over there. Here we go.
And here I am on my way to the Seoul Tower, which is the central point of Seoul, and maybe it will give me a good overview of the major South Korean city.
Mountains, mountains, mountains. You just have to get up. Mountains.
My walk to the Seoul Tower, which is located on the Nam mountain, was long for me. But to be fair, I have a little bit underestimated the height of the Nam mountain, which is 270 meters or 890 feet. The beautiful Namsan Park and its maintained ways up to the mountain offers the citizens and their tourists some hiking and picnic areas with a beautiful view to the downtown skyline of Seoul. On the way up to the mountain, you can still see the walls of the historic smoke signal system called Bongsu-dae, which you can find around the whole country. This was used in the past to report threats, dangers and invasions to the Seoul government.
I've made it. I've made it.
Maybe I'm short of breath and sweaty, but I can say I've made it to the 1969 built-up Seoul Tower, which is also known as N Seoul Tower or YTN Seoul Tower or Namsan Tower. If you're on the top, then you have reached the second highest point in Seoul. The tower has a height of 236 meters or 774 feet. The tower has 4 floors, which is counted from 1 to 5. This might be a little bit confusing, but most of the Korean buildings avoid to have a 4th floor. After I've walked around a bit, I decided to go back the way to my hotel. But if you come here, feel free to use the Namsan cable car. I've stayed in Itaewon, which is a popular multicultural area known for its nightlife and tasty restaurant. By the way, the name Itaewon was derived from an inn located here in this area at the last Korean kingdom. Oh, and the most eaten and common side dish is kimchi. Salted and fermented vegetables makes my Korean barbecue perfect. Before I forgot the explanation about number 4. The number 4 sounds the same as the word death in Hanja, the Korean alphabet. So this is the reason why the floor 4 or the room number 4 is skipped or avoided to use in public buildings and hospitals, or even for some product releases of major companies.
So guys, I'm here in Myeongdong. This is one of the famous Korean K-pop spots. I will show you. Wait. This area here, and you can see behind me. And I am here to buy, of course, some K-pop merchandise articles. So I will walk with you now the street, show you around a little bit, and make your own impression.
I am glad it had been open. So my first stop was the legendary Burotrek store, where I bought some K-pop franchise and also SCD. Myeongdong is Seoul's main shopping, parade route and of course tourism district. The mid to high price retail stores with international brands and Korean cosmetics satisfies all ages of customers. The floating population is up to 2 million people a day. Shopping malls, restaurants, cinema, historical sites and so on gives this area the perfect mixture.
Okay guys, I really should rename my documentary maybe in something like Egan and the Mystery of K-pop. I don't know why, but I'm really looking around and it's not like you're supposed to think about, but you don't find any K-pop art or whatever here right now.
Honestly, yes, I was a little bit disappointed or maybe blinded by the media, but my thought was that I would be overflooded with K-pop stuff everywhere. I head up to the underground shopping center, which is common here for the most main substations in Seoul. The Myeongdong underground shopping tunnel system is amazing. Once you've entered it, you can walk around the whole area without taking a step outside, if you want. There are a lot of stores you can find here, same as I did, so finally I can check off some titles from the K-pop shopping list. As I've went up and out again, it starts to get dark outside and I've walked around Seoul's nearly empty streets in the afternoon. Almost 10 million people should live here, but COVID and its consequences are still evident. So I took the bus back to Itaewon and walked around to imagine how was the nightlife before. On my next day, I'd like to go to the DDP, the Dongdaemun Design Plaza. I thought it might be easy to grab a taxi here to go there, but it took me 20 minutes. The driver was very friendly, but I can understand now why it took so long for me to find one to pick me up.
Okay, I really hope that I will end up in the right place, because I have a little language barrier here. Let's see.
Even with the language barrier, the driver and I could make it and he dropped me in front of the right place. Honestly, it feels like the taxi driver drops me somewhere into the future. The design of the DDP with his elongated curved structures makes me feel like I'm about to enter a spaceship. This landmark of Seoul is such amazing and a popular touristic hub. The DDP is pure design. It is futuristic and traditional at the same time, and it's equipped with a lot of different areas, which makes it become far away from just be a regular mall. It provides public spaces, exhibition halls, conference hall, design museum, design lab, academy hall, media center, seminar room, a history and culture park, a designer lounge and a design marketplace. Apologize if I forgot something. So is it worth to visit the Dongdaemun Design Plaza? Let's say, for me it was worth to spend more than 4 hours here and left our planet for a moment. Between futuristic art design constructions, blinking LED signs and a digital high-tech living shows Seoul their beautiful ancient palaces. And I can't leave Seoul without visit one of them, so I've decided to go to the Shangyonggung Palace. Built in the middle of the 15th century, destroyed and rebuilt several times during the past, it has become a park, a zoo, a museum and a botanical garden. In 1983, the government decided to relocate the zoo and the botanical garden to the south of Seoul. In his time, around 500 years ago, this palace was used for the king's state affairs. Meetings with officials, royal banquets and routine state affairs were held here. This simple but beautiful designed main hall here is one of the oldest one you can see in Seoul. It was originally designed and built as living quarter for dowager queens rather as throne hall, but the elevated stone yard, the 3-level walkway and a huge courtyard emphasized this was made for the king.
And as always, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Those are the last step of my journey. My experience is summarized in a few minutes, and yet I hope to have inspired and fascinated you. Korea did this for me, and I can't wait to come back soon. Until then, 안녕히 계세요. Goodbye.